right, breaking news from Woj, brought to you by BetQL. The Mavs traded Tim Hardaway Jr. and 3 second-round picks to Detroit for Quentin Grimes. Mike, what do you think of the deal on the player?
The player's a solid role player as kind of a 3-and-D guy.
6'4", was the 25th pick of the 2021 draft.
Yeah, so he's a off-guard wing defender who's a decent shooter. He's not a great shooter.
37% from three.
But really what you're doing here to add on to the trade, as long as everything works out in a few days, you opened up the money now to give the full mid-level exception to Derrick Jones Jr. So you're trading Tim Hardaway Jr. to keep Derrick Jones Jr., and you needed to do that before free agency because let's just say you are Derrick Jones Jr., and I'm just throwing out a team. The Atlanta Hawks come to you because they're horrible defensively, and they're like, look, we need you and need you bad. Here's what we're going to do. We're offering you 3 years and $33 million, approximately the mid-level exception over 3 years. And if he wants to stay in Dallas, and Dallas is telling him, hey, we don't have that money yet, but we're still trying to trade Tim Hardaway Jr., and when we accomplish that, we will have the money for you. What if they don't accomplish it? What if they do accomplish it 2 weeks later, and Atlanta's like, well, obviously you didn't want to play for us, so we spent the $11 million a year on somebody else. So Derrick Jones Jr., who hasn't made a lot of money in his career, could not take the risk on July 1st, waiting for the Mavs to possibly trade Tim Hardaway Jr., to possibly have the money to give him about $10 to $12 million a year. So the Mavericks needed to get this done before free agency. So
this is his only deal. This is going to be Derrick's only like made real contract.
He's 27.
Yeah, I think that there could be. I think other teams might go, do we want to waste our time?
Yeah.
So basically, they'd have 10 or 11 in cap space.
Well, you have the mid-level. You have the full mid-level exception now,
which is,
and that's it. That's all you have left.
Which is how much?
Approximately $11 million a year.
I'm old enough to remember when it was 6.
Yeah.
Is there someone else that you would have liked them to target, or no? Derrick Jones Jr. is the best, most reasonable thing and fit.
I like bringing back this team. You've added another talented player, an eighth man type of guy who is Grimes. He's young. He can improve a little bit. If you look at he's 24. Is that right? Is that what you said? I think he's 24. He just had a birthday 2 days ago. Might be 25 now. But if you look at your core, if Derrick Jones Jr. comes back, but he's 27, PJ Washington's in his mid-20s, Gafford's in his mid-20s, you have Lively 20, you have mid-20s Luka. The only guy that's old that you really rely on and count on is Kyrie. He's the only guy. Like, I don't really count Kleba as a guy you can count on. He's going to miss 40 games again next year with injuries. He's going to be scared to death of the moment in the playoffs a lot of times. And then there's going to be a few games he plays well in the playoffs, and it'll make you feel better about him. But this is a team that's entering their prime, made it to the finals. You're bringing it back. And there could be another trade that pops up, but you really lost nothing in this trade. There's nothing of value in this trade, and you're able to retain Derrick Jones Jr. and add another piece that can play off the bench for you anywhere from 10 minutes minimum, 30 minutes maximum if you have injuries per night.
And here's Tim McMahon saying what you said, Mike. This move positions the Mavs to offer a significant part of the $13 million mid-level to Derrick Jones Jr. Nico called it priority 1A and 1B for the offseason.
So it even went up more than
12.9.
Wow. Yeah.
Did you watch tape of the Mavs' new draft pick yet?
I watched the 5-minute, 10-minute clip on YouTube. I'm assuming this because he just is turning 20. I'm assuming this. They're going to try to tell him to stay in France for a year. Mm-hmm. And just keep playing over there. There's 0 minutes for him here at his age and where I'm assuming at 51.
And he'll make more money. Well, will the Mavericks pay him if he's in France? So he'll make more money in France than he will at the G League.
And then you hold his rights longer. If he comes over here, he would just play in the G League.
And you'll make $20,000 a year or whatever it is. Like
he would have a split, like one of those split contracts.
You know, I remember before Sandler got me fired, a lot of guys would be in the G League until January. And then they would go and they got a contract. They would go make $30,000 in the month and play in Turkey.
Yeah.
That's a lot of the guys at the G League. So if you're already over there, you can make some good money overseas. You can make good living. So
thanks to Tolo TR, Kobe. They sent us this news of the Tim Hardaway trade. I didn't think that guy was 6'8" while watching his tape yesterday, but
and left-handed too. I love lefties.
He got some creativity and
he's an athletic 20-year-old who has a small percentage chance of making the NBA. Yesterday, it's weird, the second round pick, literally 80% of those guys won't have an NBA career.
Yeah.
Yep.
50% of them won't even make a team this year. 50% of them will be released at the end of training
It'll
camp.
be in Spain.
Yeah, and so there's only going to be approximately, out of the second round, 6 guys who have an NBA career. Did you pick one of the 6 guys that is going to have an NBA career in the second round? I hope so, but
I was
tough.